Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to our channel where we delve into the intricate world of royalty, its traditions, and its modern-day challenges. Today, we turn our attention to a complex and often discussed dynamic within the British royal family: the relationship, or perhaps the growing chasm, between Prince William, the heir to the throne, and his uncle Prince Andrew, the Duke of York. Recent events, particularly a somewhat surprising appearance by the Duke, have brought this underlying tension back into the spotlight, revealing layers of history, personal feelings, and concerns for the future of the monarchy itself. It's a story that contrasts sharply with memories of the past, specifically the reportedly warm bond shared between the late beloved Princess Diana and her brother-in-law, Andrew. Before we unpack the details of this evolving situation, if you find our explorations into royal life insightful, please do take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you these detailed updates and analyses. Now, let's set the scene. For those who follow royal affairs closely, Prince Andrew's public appearances have become increasingly rare over the past 5 years. Following significant controversies surrounding his associations and subsequent legal proceedings, the Duke stepped back from official royal duties. His role within the family, at least in the public eye, seemed significantly diminished. Therefore, his presence at the Easter Sunday service this year at St. George's Chapel, within the historic grounds of Windsor Castle, naturally caused quite a stir and reignited conversations long simmering beneath the surface. Photographs captured the Duke of York walking alongside his brother, King Charles III, and Queen Camilla, even sharing smiles as they made their way to the traditional service. On the surface, it might have appeared as a moment of family unity, perhaps a tentative step towards rehabilitation within the family fold. However, royal commentators and sources close to the palace suggest that this public display might not fully reflect the private realities. Specifically, the relationship between Prince Andrew and his nephew, Prince William, the Prince of Wales, is reportedly fraught with unresolved tension and deep-seated reservations on William's part. This brings us to a fascinating, perhaps poignant contrast highlighted by royal experts. It involves Prince William's late mother, Princess Diana. According to those who knew the dynamics of the family in the 1980s and 90s, Diana actually shared a rather warm and friendly relationship with Prince Andrew. Royal commentator Jenny Bond, a familiar face from her time as the BBC's royal correspondent, shed light on this historical aspect. She noted, "I do know that Diana liked Andrew very much, and she found him good fun and welcoming." This paints a picture of a younger Andrew, perhaps perceived differently within the family circle during Diana's time, approachable, enjoyable company, someone who made her feel included. This recollection makes the current situation even more striking. If Diana found Andrew welcoming, why does her own son, Prince William, reportedly hold such a starkly different view? Sources suggest William perceives his uncle in a profoundly negative light, viewing him as detrimental, even toxic, to the royal family's image and integrity. This strong sentiment is understood to stem directly from the controversies that have engulfed the Duke in recent years, controversies related to his association with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, and the subsequent accusations and civil lawsuit brought against him by Virginia Giuffre, which Andrew settled out of court without admitting liability. For Prince William, who is increasingly shouldering responsibility alongside his father, King Charles, the paramount concern is the preservation and protection of the monarchy's reputation. From this perspective, any association that brings scandal or disrepute upon the institution is seen as deeply damaging. Miss Bond elaborated on this, stating, "I think William was quick to grasp that Andrew is toxic to the royal brand. This suggests a pragmatic, perhaps even ruthless assessment by the future king, prioritizing the long-term health and public perception of the crown above personal family ties, at least where Prince Andrew is concerned." Adding another layer to William's reported stance is an observation made by veteran royal commentator Richard Kay. He suggests there might be a more personal element to William's feelings, dating back further than the recent scandals. Mr. Kay remarked, "William has long held a grudge against Andrew for being unwelcoming when he first introduced the then Kate Middleton to the royal family. If true, this points to an initial friction, a perceived slight against his future wife, That perhaps colored William's perception of his uncle long before the more serious issues arose. Kay further added that William feels that his father, King Charles, has been too soft on him, Andrew, suggesting a difference in opinion between father and son on how firmly the Duke should be handled and kept away from public royal life. Families, of course, are complex entities, and royal families perhaps even more so, operating under intense public scrutiny. Jenny Bond acknowledged this universal truth, reflecting on the difference between Diana's experience and William's alleged perspective. So I don't know why he, Andrew, would have been any different with Catherine than he was with Diana, but then, families are complicated. This simple statement resonates. Personal dynamics shift, relationships evolve, and past behaviors don't always predict future interactions. What Diana experienced or perceived in the 1980s might indeed be very different from the welcome, or lack thereof, extended to Catherine Middleton decades later, under different circumstances and perhaps by a changed Prince Andrew. The Easter Sunday appearance itself warrants closer examination. While Prince Andrew has officially stepped back from public duties for over 5 years, his presence at this significant family gathering wasn't entirely unprecedented. He has attended private family events and certain church services before. However, appearing so prominently alongside the King and Queen felt significant to many observers. It suggests, perhaps, a degree of managed inclusion within the purely family aspect of royal life, distinct from official public representation. It could be interpreted as King Charles showing familial support for his brother, maintaining a private connection even while upholding Andrew's exclusion from official duties. However, the optics were complicated by notable absences. Crucially, the Prince and Princess of Wales, William and Kate, were not present at the Easter service. Now, it's essential to state that their absence had a well-documented reason. Princess Catherine is currently undergoing preventative chemotherapy following her cancer diagnosis, and the family is understandably focused on her recovery and maintaining privacy during this challenging time. Their non-attendance was expected and entirely unrelated to Prince Andrew's presence. Yet, in the context of the reported tensions, the visual of Andrew walking with the King and Queen, while the heir and his wife were absent, albeit for unrelated health reasons, inevitably fueled speculation. Some interpreted it, perhaps unfairly given the circumstances, as reinforcing the narrative of a divide. Charles maintaining a semblance of family unity that includes Andrew, while William, even in absentia, represents a faction prioritizing the institution's image above accommodating the controversial Duke. It highlights the delicate balancing act King Charles must perform, managing family relationships while safeguarding the monarchy's standing. The situation underscores a potential divergence in approach between the current monarch and the future one. King Charles, perhaps influenced by a sense of fraternal loyalty or a desire for familial harmony, might be perceived as allowing Andrew more leeway within the private sphere. Prince William, on the other hand, shaped by a different generation and acutely aware of modern media scrutiny and public opinion, appears to advocate for a clearer, more definitive line, viewing Andrew's presence, even in a limited capacity, as a continued liability. This isn't just palace intrigue, it has real-world implications. The public's perception of the royal family is crucial for its continued relevance and support. Scandals involving senior royals inevitably tarnish the institution's image, and how the family handles such situations is closely watched. Prince William's reported stance reflects a concern that any perceived leniency towards Prince Andrew could be interpreted by the public as a sign that the monarchy doesn't take serious allegations or damage to its reputation seriously enough. Looking back at Diana's reported fondness for Andrew adds a layer of historical irony. In her time, Andrew was often seen as the dashing war hero, the spare who perhaps enjoyed more freedom than the heir. His public image was vastly different. The man Diana found good fun is now a figure associated with profound controversy, creating a situation where her own son feels compelled to distance himself and the institution he will one day lead from his uncle. So, where does this leave the royal family? Prince Andrew remains largely excluded from official life, stripped of his military titles and royal patronages. His appearance at Easter doesn't necessarily signal a return to public duties, but rather confirms his continued existence within the private family circle, albeit perhaps contentiously. The reported tensions with Prince William seem unlikely to dissipate quickly, particularly as William prepares for his future role as king, where protecting the crown's integrity will be his utmost priority. The differing perspectives, Diana's past warmth, Charles's current familial tightrope walk, and William's reported hardline stance, illustrate the evolving challenges faced by the monarchy. Balancing tradition with modern expectations, managing personal relationships under intense public glare, and navigating scandals that threaten the very fabric of the institution are ongoing tasks. The Prince Andrew situation encapsulates many of these difficulties. It's a narrative that continues to unfold, reflecting not just the lives of the individuals involved, but the broader questions about accountability, image, and the future direction of one of the world's oldest institutions. The contrast between a mother's fond memory and a son's harsh assessment serves as a powerful reminder of how time, circumstance, and controversy can reshape relationships and reputations, even within the gilded cage of royalty. We've covered quite a bit today, exploring the historical context of Diana's relationship with Andrew, the serious concerns reportedly held by Prince William, the significance of the recent Easter appearance, and the potential implications for the royal family's future. It's a complex web of personal feelings, public duties, and institutional pressures. What are your thoughts on this delicate situation? Do you believe Prince William's reported stance is necessary to protect the monarchy? How do you view Prince Andrew's presence at family events like the Easter service? We genuinely value your perspectives, so please share your opinions respectfully in the comments section below. And of course, if you found this discussion informative, please give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more in-depth royal analysis and updates. Clicking the notification bell ensures you won't miss our future content. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your time and attention, and we look forward to welcoming you back for our next royal update. Until then, take care and goodbye for now.